Most people think they know what living in Lovettsville will be like before they move here, but the real test doesn't happen in the first month. It happens about 6 months in when the excitement fades and real life kicks in. That's what we're talking about today. I'm Jason Fiallo. I live here, I work here, and I help people move into the area all the time and even sometimes out of the area. This video isn't about selling you on the town. It's about giving you clarity so you actually understand what you're signing up for. Most people love Lovettsville when they first move here, and I mean immediately. They love the space, they love how quiet it is, they love the fact that they're not sitting in traffic just to go a couple of miles. It feels like a breath of fresh air. But what I want to talk to you about today is what happens after that initial phase wears off. Not the first few weeks, not even the first couple of months, more like 6 months in, when this place isn't new anymore and it's just your normal everyday life. Because people either say, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted, or they quietly realize this lifestyle might not be the right fit for them. There's almost always a honeymoon phase. The first few months feel great, the roads are calmer, your house feels more private, you're not constantly surrounded by people. And I hear buyers say this all the time. I didn't realize how stressed I was until I moved out here, and that part is real. But once work schedules settle in, school routines kick back up, kids' sports fill the calendar, that's when the lifestyle really shows itself. It's not better, not worse, just different. One of the first things people notice is how errands work out here. You pretty quickly stop doing quick trips. The concept just disappears. For basics, people lean on the Lovettsville Co-op that's right here in town or the 7-Eleven for true grab-and-go items. But for real grocery shopping, most people are driving to Weiss in Brunswick, Harris Teeter in Purcellville, and Wegmans in Leesburg. That's usually 15 to 25 minutes depending on where you're headed. What ends up happening is you plan more. One solid run, knock everything out. Groceries, gas, pharmacy, maybe a Home Depot stop while you're already out. For a lot of people, that actually feels calmer. But if convenience is something you're used to having baked into your daily life, this is one of the first adjustments you'll really feel. And along those same lines, this is important. Lovettsville is fully car dependent, not kind of, fully. There's no local bus system. Ride sharing exists, but it's inconsistent. If your car's in the shop, your routine changes immediately. Most households have more than one car. And once kids start driving, that matters even more. Every schedule, work, school, activities is built around driving. Some people don't mind this at all. Others feel it right away. And it doesn't change over time. It's just part of living in Lovettsville. School logistics are another thing people don't fully think through until they're here. Lovettsville feeds into Lovettsville Elementary, which is right here in town. From there, students go to Harmony Middle School in Hamilton, then Woodgrove High School in Purcellville. Those middle and high school drives are real. You're not walking to school. You're either driving, catching the bus, or driving your kid to school. Some families don't mind that at all. Others feel it in the daily schedule, especially if both parents work or kids have after-school activities. If you're considering private school, that usually means driving towards Leesburg, Ashburn, or even further. Again, not good or bad, just something you need to know up front. Food and social routines settle in pretty quickly too. After a few months, most people know where they like to go. In town, that usually means 1836 Kitchen and Tap Room, Market Table Bistro, Andy's Pizza, and Backstreet Brews for coffee. You're not chasing new spots, you rotate through what you like. And for some people, that's perfect. For others, especially if you love variety, you'll find yourself driving to Purcellville, Leesburg, or Frederick more than you expected. Not because the food here isn't good, it's just that we have fewer options. And then there's pace of life. This is probably the biggest factor in whether people stay long-term or not. Life here moves slower, people aren't rushing everywhere, conversations last longer, schedules feel less compressed, and for families, this often feels like a huge quality of life upgrade. But if you thrive on energy, stimulation, and constant options, that slower pace can start to feel very quiet, sometimes a little too quiet. Access always comes up. Purcellville's about 20 minutes away, Leesburg's about 25 minutes, Frederick's about 30. And the MARC station in Brunswick, Maryland is right there for DC commuters. Speaking of commuting, when people think about highways, they're usually talking about 270, 66, or 495 depending on where you're headed. But that's not an everyday thing for most residents. Lovettsville works best if you don't need daily access to major corridors, but still want reasonable reach when you do need it. Evenings here are pretty quiet. There's no nightlife scene, no late night buzz. Evenings are about being home, backyards, porches, walks, family dinners. Some people love that, others miss having a lot of options. Weekends tend to be more intentional too. Community events, kids' sports, outdoor time, wineries and breweries nearby. You plan your weekends. For a lot of people, that feels less chaotic. For others, it takes a little adjusting. The people who are happiest here long term usually have a few things in common. They value peace over convenience, they're comfortable planning instead of reacting, they don't need constant stimulation, they enjoy space, routine, and a slower pace of life. The people who struggle often say things like, I didn't realize how much I relied on convenience, or I miss being able to just pop out. This is simply my experience, not necessarily good or bad. Lovettsville isn't a place you tolerate, it's a place you choose intentionally. If this lifestyle lines up with how you already live, Lovettsville can be incredibly rewarding. But if you're forcing it because it sounds good on paper, that's when regret tends to creep in. If you're considering Lovettsville or anywhere else in Northern Virginia and you want honest guidance and feedback on whether it fits your lifestyle, that's exactly what I help people with every single day. Drop your questions in the comments below. Reach out if you want to talk. Shoot me a text, send me an email. I'll be happy to help. I'll see you in the next video.